Hello and welcome to Big Little Bus Ministry. In this video, we're going to go over how you can improve your flyers in 5 minutes or less. In the visual world that we live in, it's never been more important to have professional, eye-popping, first-class literature. That even goes when you're handing it to bus kids or parents. When they look at that and they see that it's first class and it's put together, it's not black and white, it's not clip art from the 1990s, they'll know, man, this is a good church that's got their stuff together. It'll also help you get your information delivered properly and concisely, the phone number, the address, what you're doing on the bus, and it'll also let you promote those big days even more than just by word of mouth. I mean, you'll be able to have a flyer that really says professionally, like, look what we're doing, and it's going to really drive up some interest in what you're doing on the bus. The last thing I would say why we need to have good professional looking flyers is it's the Lord's work. Anything that we do for God should be first class, and it should be done the best that we can. Now, you may not be able to be a graphics designer or go hire somebody, but that's what this video is for. I'm just going to give you some few tips that'll help you kind of go into your design and maybe make it just a little bit better. Deuteronomy 32:3 says, "Because I will publish the name of the Lord, ascribe ye greatness unto our God." There's really no better way to describe it than that. When we hand out a piece of literature from our church or a flyer, whatever it might be, it should scream greatness. What we're doing on the bus is great. What's happening at church is great. And the way we can do that is by delivering that message in a classy way. So without further ado, let's jump in here and get some quick tips on how to improve our flyers. Stick around to the end of the video where I can show you how you can design professional grade flyers in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes, just like that. I'll show you at the end of the video. As you see here, I've got a pretty plain looking flyer, ice cream sundae. It's got a picture of some ice cream cones and got descriptions of the ice cream cones here. It says ride the bus for some yummy ice cream. It's got the phone number and it's got the name of the church and the address. The first thing that I'm going to tell you to improve your flyers is to keep your design simple. When we look at this design, there's a lot going on. Now, I could have put a picture in the background, but then it'd be even harder to see what's going on. So keep your design simple. What does that mean? Well, if there's any way possible you don't have to have as many words or pictures or graphics, maybe delete some of them. Get rid of maybe some of these descriptions here. It doesn't add a whole lot of information to the overall design, and just make sure everything's fairly simple. The second tip is isolate your graphic. So here we have a picture of an ice cream cone. Now you could have made this bigger, but then it'd make these words harder to see. So what does isolate your graphic mean? The best kind of graphics to use are ones that are alphaed out or ones that don't have a background. One way of finding good graphics is you can go online and find places that give free resources. One place is freepik.com. This is a great place where you can download a lot of graphics that are free. So I've got FreePik pulled up. I'm just going to type in ice cream and hit enter. Let's see what comes up. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to keep things simple but bold, and I want it to be isolated. I like this. This looks delicious. Hit download, hit free download. It will download to your folder. Once you have that, you can open it up, and if you've got a Mac, you can pretty much follow along with me. If you don't, good luck. Now, this has a white background behind it, and I'm going to get rid of that just real quickly. I'm not going to explain how I do it. I'm just going to do it real quick. Once that's done, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to throw it into my design. So switch this out with this good looking flyer or good looking graphic here. Okay. The next tip is use 1 or 2 good fonts. This is a common mistake that a lot of people do. They think that having more fonts makes your flyer more interesting. It just makes it harder to see what's important. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to make all of these fonts a little bit more simple. So this ice cream sundae is good, but I don't really like the font. I've got one saved over here that I like more. Where is it at? Let's do this one. And I don't really like brown, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. And I'm going to color match it to, let's do pink. Let's see what happens. Okay, so make that pink, and then I am going to make it stand out a little bit more by adding a quick outline to it. And we'll make this, there we go. That really stands out a lot better. Okay, Now, this is still a little big, so I'm going to shrink this down. Here we go. Now we've got this font down here. Let's get rid of that font. Let's use something like this. This gets our information out clearly. And let's come over here, see if we can really simplify this. Okay. A few things I've done. I've made sure my design is simple. I have isolated my background, and then I've limited my typeface, how many fonts I'm using, and I've used bolder fonts, one that'll get your attention. The last tip that I'm going to say is create visual hierarchy. Now, what does that mean? That means when you look at a design, where do your eyes naturally fall? So usually whatever's biggest is where your eyes are going to go to, or whatever's brightest. So in this case, Ice Cream Sundae is the title. We really do want that to be one of the boldest things you see because that's what's happening on the bus. The next thing is going to be this picture, this graphic. And the third thing that we want people to see is going to be ride the bus for some yummy ice cream. But we don't want this to compete with this. So what are we going to do? Let's do something to separate this. Let's make, you know what? Let's make a separation here. We'll put this here. We'll shrink this a bit. We don't need it to be quite so big. Duplicate it. Come down. And again, this isn't scientific. And then here, we're going to go ahead and enlarge this. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate this just a hair. We don't want it to be quite so close. So we'll do this. And then we'll change the color of this to maybe something. There we go. Now we're good. Make this a little bit smaller. Okay, the last thing we're going to do to really separate this part is we'll throw a box with a color behind this. Okay, so now we've pretty much cleaned this up quite a bit. Now, this is not necessarily a professional grade flyer, but it is more than good to get your message across and to be simple. So what did we do? We have kept everything simple, got rid of all the extra stuff. We isolated our graphics so that is prominent. We've made sure to use only a few good fonts, and we've created visual hierarchy. So we've made it to where when you look at this flyer, you're going to see Ice Cream Sundae, you're going to see this ice cream cone, come ride the bus, and then you're going to see the details in the smallest area. So those are just a few tips on how you can make your design just a little bit better. Now, if you want to make professional grade flyers for free without any skill or experience, and you only have a few minutes to do it, check this out. If you go over here to this free resource called canva.com. If you haven't heard of it, it is a great online platform that offers a lot of templates for free that graphics designers have put together. Now, you can get a subscription to this and you can get access to all of the designs, or you can do what I always do, and that is get the free version. If you go over here and hit create design and then hit custom, you can type in inches is what we're going to have. A regular piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. Create new design. Run over here to this left side where it says search. You can type in, say, ice cream. Hope I spelled that wrong. Let's try that again. Type in ice cream. Boom. Just like that, you've got a flyer sitting there that is almost ready to go. All you have to do is punch in your information, the address, maybe the date or the time they'll be picked up, the phone number, the church information, and hit share. And that's it. That is one of the quickest ways that you can get a great looking flyer for some big promotions out to your kids. And a quick tip is try to print in color all of the time. Instead of black and white, take these and print them in color, and it will really stand out from the average flyer. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Share it with a friend, and don't forget, leave a comment if you have any resources maybe online or maybe some ideas to share. I always love comments. Thanks for watching.